Smack Talk Friday, huh? Smack Talk,
Maybe.
Hopefully.
It kind of all sounds like smack talk to me.
right?
All right. So what kind of smack talk do you want to do? Do you want to learn how to insult people, tease, stuff like that? I can just start throwing some things out there and feel free to ask questions. All right. I think I mentioned this one. So I could show you this too first, maybe. Away nane means, simply means who. Who is it? So you could use that with any animate, like away nane gedo dame. Anyone know what gedo dame is?
Tribe or something?
Yeah, who's your clan? So in our culture, of course, there's a clan system. Animals, birds, fish, they double as a symbol for your house and a spiritual guide. But people, there's also like what they call a dubitative form in Ojibwe, which expresses doubt. So like away Gwain would be like whoever. So whoever could it be? Away Gwain. And it even builds into verb forms. So for example, this is one way you can tease someone. Away Gwain no wanen. Away Gwain no wanen. Which would be like, who the hell are you? Even though it doesn't use the word hell. Or who the heck do you think you are? Would be kind of a rough translation. So this is one, use with friends and people you're familiar with. Don't use it the first time you're meeting someone new, or it would be abrasive. Yeah. Away Gwe no wanen. Who the hell are you? So it's got that dubitative form and the U form kind of built right in there. Away Gwe no wanen. And then if somebody comes at you that way, there are many different good retorts that you can use. So in Ojibwe, like that means your namesake. So namesakes in Ojibwe culture are really, really special, right? And so they're kind of like a godparent maybe in other traditions, spiritual guide, role model, and things like that. And so so if someone's got a namesake relationship, that's like calling you like my favorite, auntie or uncle or whatever. And so like if somebody says something, like who the hell do you think you are? It's like or you could use just like on Anishinaabe, Nagadaw, Anishinaabe and Dao, in Dao. I am your namesake. In Dao. Yeah, so that's a good way you can flip it right back at them. The other way is like we showed you how to say indigenous cause, my name is. And so indigenous cause. So these are context responses. Or gidigenous cause, your name is. Yeah, so for example, if someone's like from the Michael Sullivan event, he's talking about bugonays. They taught that guy to say that bugonays is like you with the hole. They taught that guy to say that to all the natives when they're coming into the store. So if someone is like, bugonays, what the hell is bugonays? And then you say, gidigenous cause. That's your name, or something like that. So depending on the context, if somebody's bringing something up like, oh my God, what is that? Looking at something disturbing, be like, yeah, gidigenous cause. So those are kind of context ones that you can use. Also in Ojibwe, like there's a derogative form. So for example, Well, this is about as bad of an insult as you can get in Ojibwe. Animush is just a dog. But if you wanted to say that old dog, like in an insulting way, you just go like this. Animushish. And the ish makes it like derogative. So like that old dog. So you can put it on other nouns or even people's names to insult them. So like, you know, sometimes you need a connector. So like Inini is a man. Ininiwish is like, oh, that old guy. Like not in terms of old, but like that good for nothing guy. That's probably a better way. There you go. That good for nothing guy, Ininiwish. Or Ikwe is a woman. Yeah, Ikwe wish. Be like hag. Yeah, so you can use those to insult each other too. Yeah. And then you can use some of the other words, you know, like gidao or indao. Yep. So if someone's like, man, that is rugged, you can be like, Ininiwish indao. I'm a good for nothing dude, man. There you go. Or you could be like, Ikwewish gidao. You're a hag. Now, you be careful who you use these with, but you know. Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of my family, they'll say like fish, like just fish, and they'll say that as like a gross exclamation. Like,
Yeah.
Is that related at all?
I'm not sure, like in terms of origin, some things have made their transfer into English that way. Like you'll hear people say hike, which is really from height. And so the ish, I'm not sure if it's from this Ojibwe derogative. I think that's from English because people be like ick, ish, you know, stuff like that. In Ojibwe, you can always just go yai, which is the equivalent of like ick. No. Yeah, so those are all good ways to insult people. And you can put it on someone's name, you know, so like I'm Wagosh, so Wagoshish. Be like that damn Wagosh. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so look, there's the like these kind of paradigms. Yeah, that'll let you put insulting endings on things. We don't actually have swear words in Ojibwe. There are no words that are just for, you know, whatever, taking God's name in vain or, you know, just like that. But you can be very descriptive and harsh on people and stuff like that. And of course, Ojibwe is super descriptive, like the morphemes. So you can do some pretty brutal teasing.
So Ojibwe requires you to be more creative.
It is insulting people in Ojibwe is more creative. It really is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I listen to some elders sit around and talk about different words for testicles for about half an hour. And man, they had so many words. So many words. You know? It's like those old ladies are making everyone blush, but they were hilarious.
Did you say yesterday that moo is poo?
Yeah.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, moo is poop. That's how you can tell the cows all speak fluent Ojibwe. Because when they're walking around out there, if they step in it, they let their buddies know where the poop's at, and they say, moo. No, moo. That's why they're doing that all the time. They're telling each other where the poop is. Yeah. Yep. And then muwes, that's like a, how do you spell turd with a U? Turd. There you go. Muwes, that's like a little turd. Yeah. So you can always use that too. Ah, muwes gedao. Yep, you're a turd, man. Oh my gosh, giving you guys some good ammo. When you get to your dialogues, then you can apply some of these. You can do an Ojibwe smack talk dialogue. Put that in the mix. What else do you need to know? Yeah, very important. Like, you know, whatever, bodily functions, weekend words. Yeah, stuff like that. And you just let me know what you need. And
Now I'm curious what a testicles is.
oh, all right. So one of the other things in Ojibwe, the body part words are all possessed. So you don't really say like even, you know, hand. You have to say my hand, your hand, his or her hand, things like that. So they're all possessed. Yeah. So the actual proper word is right here. Like that. But the words those old ladies were using were much more entertaining. Yeah. So they were saying like this. So that'd be mine. So yours would be ge, Inishiwag. Yeah. But they were using some of these. Yeah. So an opin is a potato. Spelled that like Dan Quayle. Opinis is a little potato. Yeah. And then mishi is a preverb that means hairy. You can see where they're going with these. Yeah. So mishi opinis would be little hairy potato. I know. I know. And so then they'd be like, there's also like a double possessive they can use. So they'll go like this. Imishi opinisim ug. Like your very own little hairy potatoes. And that's what those ladies are using. Stuff like that. Taya. Yeah, Gimishi opinisimug. And so it makes them sound like super like small and hairy and like you're possessive of them or something with the double possessive. Because like they'll put it like in normal ways too. So like you could say something like, you know, gidikwe would mean like, you know, your wife, literally like your woman or something like that. But usually they'll use gidiquame. So they put a double possessive on there. It's like, you know, your very own woman, your wife. And they do it the same for the husbands too. So, you know, a nabe is something that's male. Yeah. And you could say, you know, ginabe, but usually it's going to be ginabame for your male, you know, your man, your husband. Like that. So that makes it like, it's just more endearing or something like that. But when you put it up here on the, you know, your little, very own little hairy potatoes, it makes it sound like, you know, yeah, like you're in love with them or something. So just adds to the meaning. Yeah, so then you can combine some of those. So mishi, mishi mues. What do you think that might be?
Your own turd?
Yeah, that's a dingleberry. That's a hairy turd. Yeah, dingleberry. So you can get creative with some of those things. You tell everybody in China what you learned in Ojibwe class here.
You know, we can use Mishimoans with one of our vocabulary words, agode.
Yes. A good day one, Mishi Mue Sun. That's the other thing. It's helpful to get plurals because they can be, that helps tell you if it's animate or inanimate. So in the plural form, if the final letter is a G, that tells you that it's animate. And so you'll notice like the testicle words are all animate, but the turds are inanimate. So the plural you'd put an on there, dingleberries. Yeah, mishi muesan. But again, all of those you can just use to insult people. Yeah, mishi mues gedao, or mishi mues gedijin akaz. Yep, your name is Dingleberry. Yep. Yep, and then sometimes there are context, ones that people use too. And so those, especially when I'll save some of that for when we get to the winter, for the winter legends. They're like Ojibwe literary reference. There's things that come out of the stories that everyone would know that are good for either insulting or, creating a cultural reference that's kind of fun or funny.
How would you say resting Indian face?
Resting Indian face, like your mean Indian face.
Well, you know how instead of, nobody smiles.
Yeah, so there's a verb, negwabi, which means to mean mug someone, to give them a mean Indian look. Yeah, so that's a verb. So you could say, ninegwab. I'm giving the mean Indian look here. Like that. You talking to my wife? Whatever. Stuff like that. So you could put that onto like someone's face, I suppose, and you could go, well, you can also use these in the form of native names too, which is another way to do it. I'll show you that in a second. First, the mean mugging face. Negwabi dangwe. And that's like, mean Indian face, so to speak. Yeah. But a lot of Ojibwe names, they're different kinds of names. So some pertain to like animals, birds, earth, things like that. So a lot of the names will have, like Benesi is a thunderbird. And so is Unimiki, also a thunderbird. So a lot of the bird names will have Benesi in there. And so, for example, you might get, these are actual like, names. You might get like Manidu Benes, they drop the short I at the end. And that'd be like, spirit bird for someone's name, spirit bird. Or the female part, like Manidu Benesikwe would be like spirit bird woman. These are kind of pretty common Ojibwe names. And so I guess I should also mention too, there's what they call a vocative form in Ojibwe. So if you're speaking to someone, there's a different form you'd use. And you, on the woman names, they usually shorten it up a little bit. Manidu Benesik still means spirit bird woman, but that's if you're talking to her. And so that's one of the common endings for names. The other ones are like sitting or standing. So like they might be like, Zongi Gabo, stand strong or something like that. That part is built in as a morpheme, he who stands strong. Or they might say Zongi Gaboikwe, she who stands strong. So they might add these kind of endings like Benes or Benesik or Gabo or Gaboik or something like that to something else to be a way of insulting them. So for example, and the other ones are like sitting names. Yeah, so Mindawe means to like be pouty. So they might be like Mindawe Gabo. So if somebody's being like all, pouty or snaky, be like, ho, Mindawe Gabo. Yeah, it's like saying, ho, stands pouting, like making up a new native name for them. Yep, or Nishkadizi will help out Jonathan with all of his tribal stuff. So nishkadazi means to be angry. Yeah. Nishkadazi gabo. Yeah. He who stands angry or something like that. So you can just make up names, you know, to kind of tease people a little bit. Yep. And then the ubby ones, like for example, nigan nub. So the ub ending has to do with sitting. So that'd be like he who sits in front. So you would tease somebody by calling them like muwub. He who sits in poop.
I was literally just gonna ask how to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh, muwub. Yeah. Someone's sitting there and they're not smiling all day. Yeah. Or whatever. So you can use those too. Giving you some good Ojibwe ammo here. Dating words, stuff like that too. Yeah. So there's different ones. No jikwe way. That'd be to search for a woman. And no jinabe way. Search for a man. So these would be like snagging words. Snag, or snag a woman specifically. Snag a man, like that. There you go. So those would be some of your weekend words.
Is there a way to tell somebody to shut up?
Oh, yes, there are many ways to do that. So first of all, bizan, just as a particle, means quiet or without protest. So it has a couple uses. So if somebody's being loud, you can just be like, bizan, you know. But it can also mean like without complaining. So you could also say, bizanigo wisinin. It's kind of like without complaining, just eat. Or if somebody says, hey, can I do this? Bizanigo, go ahead, without complaint, no protest. Yeah, so that one can be used that way. There's a verb form too. You can say bizanayan. Yep. Ikogan. That's like get out of here, go elsewhere. Command form. Yeah, ikogan, scram. Like the Ojibwe equivalent of piss off. Ikogan. Oh. Yeah, these are serious words right here, you guys. Can do a lot of things with this. Oh, wow. Pep talk video from Augie in there. I just saw that in the chat. Bianca, yes, share those with your coworkers. All right, we're hitting the clock. You now have some weekend words to study and add to the mix just for fun. Thanks for watching today. I'm Anton Treuer. Let's keep in touch. I'm active on social media, and my website has lots of information on my books, speaking engagements, resources for the Ojibwe language, teachers, and more. Miigwech.